Hi, my name is Benjamin Katz, and welcome back to the 48th Ice Cream Review. We're today at St. Simons Sweets in St. Simons, Georgia, trying the two flavors Peach Cobbler and Red Velvet. Let's get started with the Peach Cobbler. Now, St. Simons does sell all of their ice cream as small batch homemade, so this ice cream does have a bit more of a rustic feel to it. The Cobbler mix-ins are giving a very chewy, buttery and doughy texture, which complements the peach very well. This sort of creamy, a bit icy ice cream has this lovely sweet peach flavor with little peach bits interspersed throughout that the chewy cobbler dough sections are, quite frankly, combining with to make a very true to life peach cobbler in an ice cream. This is a faithful adaptation, I would say, of a peach cobbler. Okay, and let's move on to the red velvet. Again, this ice cream is providing a very faithful adaptation of the original baked good. I would argue this is very similar to a red velvet cake or cupcake. The ice cream is textured like ice cream, but there's so much actual red velvet, cake in there that it's almost half and half. So you're really chewing down on this nice, soft, chewy red velvet cake. And the little bits of cream cheese icing are the perfect textural contrast and, a way to cut through some of the cake with a bit of rich sweetness. Not to mention the fact that both these flavors have very appealing colors. The peach cobbler is a pale yellow off-white, similar to a white peach with the classic yellow-orange skin. The red velvet pieces are, of course, dyed red, as that is the purpose of red velvet. And it looks appetizing and appealing. I'm quite frankly curious for the combo, so let's try it out. So with peach being such a subtle flavor, it is definitely getting drowned out a little bit with red velvet. So I think having these flavors individually is better for this cup. But I didn't dislike the combo. It added a bit of fruitiness to the red velvet that is otherwise missing. Now I should mention the price was $7.50 for a large and $5.50 for a small. I did try to get the small because they are giving you a decent amount of ice cream. However, they only do one scoop, one flavor for the small, which I suppose is rational, but I have a general gripe against serving one flavor in a small. I feel that the point of ice cream is to try it out, and especially in a tourist town such as this, you want to have the option, because you're probably not going to be coming back anytime soon, to add the prohibitive limit of one flavor per small. Feels a bit like they're trying to get you to upgrade to a large, as opposed to trying to get you to buy ice cream in general. So, I understand why they do it, I just don't personally appreciate that tactic, as I did not really want to eat this much ice cream at this time. And that brings us to the closing thoughts. St. Simons Sweets plays a pivotal part in the downtown southern tip of St. Simons area. It's very touristy, appealing to people who are coming in from all over the place. St. Simons being sort of a down south way to Jacksonville, Florida, place to come to stop by. Lovely beaches, lovely area. It is definitely a beach town, but there are parts of it that don't really feel that way. They feel like it has a bit more history and whatnot. But I respect St. Simons Sweets for going above and beyond. Most ice cream shops in a tourist or beach town will serve you Hershey's or Bluebell, a mass manufactured ice cream they can make a quick buck off of. But St. Simons Sweets is serving you a locally made small batch ice cream with attention to detail and a curiosity about the flavors. The peach cobbler and red velvet flavors weren't the only interesting ones. There were also seasonal flavors like eggnog and gingerbread. Flavors that you don't see often from larger manufacturers or shops that don't really seem to care. And St. Simons Sweets seems to care, and I appreciate that. The rest of their shop had a bunch of other sweets, naturally candies, fudges, caramel apples, things that would appeal to not only tourists, but also locals and local flavors and tastes. So I would say if you're in St. Simons, Georgia, you have a lot of different ice cream options in a very small radius. So you should choose to go to St. Simons.
If you like this video and want to see more like it, consider subscribing, or go to finefiltermarketing.com for more on the journey. Thank you.